Hey everyone, Shen here. Welcome to the channel, and let's be real, we're diving headfirst into a topic that's about as fun as a root canal. Cyber threats. Okay, maybe not that bad, but seriously, this stuff is important. It's like the digital version of locking your door. You might not think about it every day, but you definitely should, because the bad guys are out there, lurking in the digital shadows. As our lives become increasingly intertwined with the digital world, we're essentially painting bigger targets on our backs, targets for hackers, scammers, and all sorts of digital ne'er-do-wells. But don't freak out just yet. The good news is that knowledge is power. The more we understand about these threats, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves. So, today, we're going to unpack the 8 most common cyber threats you need to be aware of. Think of it as a crash course in digital self-defense. We'll break down what each threat is, how it works, and most importantly, what you can do to avoid becoming the next victim. Let's do this. Alright, let's start with the classic bad guy malware. You've probably heard this term thrown around, but what exactly is it? In essence, malware is any piece of software designed to harm your computer system. Think of it as the common cold of the cyber world. Annoying, potentially dangerous, and unfortunately quite common. Now, malware comes in many flavors. You've got your viruses, which are like those clingy friends you can't seem to shake off, replicating themselves and spreading to other files and systems. Then there's ransomware, the digital equivalent of holding your data hostage for a hefty ransom. And let's not forget about spyware, the creepy stalker of the malware world, silently tracking your every digital move. So how does malware actually get onto your device? Well, it's sneakier than you might think. It can hitch a ride on a seemingly innocent email attachment, lurk behind a tempting pop-up ad, or even disguise itself as legitimate software. Once it's in, it can wreak havoc, stealing your personal information, deleting important files, or even turning your computer into a zombie botnet. But don't worry, we'll talk about how to protect yourself from these digital gremlins a bit later. The key thing to remember is that malware is often spread through deception, so always be cautious about what you click on and download. Up next, we're diving into the world of social engineering, where the human element comes into play. Get ready to have your mind slightly blown as we explore the art of manipulation in the digital age. Stay tuned! Welcome back to the Digital Danger Zone. We've covered the sneaky world of malware, but now it's time to talk about a different kind of threat, one that doesn't rely on code, but rather on good old-fashioned human psychology. That's right, we're talking about social engineering. Now, social engineering is basically the art of manipulating people into giving up confidential information. It's like that friend who can convince you to do almost anything with their charm and persuasion, except in this case it's cybercriminals trying to trick you into handing over your passwords, credit card details, or other sensitive data. One of the most common forms of social engineering is phishing. You know those emails you get that look like they're from your bank or a trusted online service? The ones that urge you to click on a link and update your account information. Yeah, those are often phishing attempts. The goal is to create a sense of urgency or fear that makes you act without thinking. And let's be real, we've all been there. Rushing through emails, not paying close attention, and bam, you've fallen for a phishing scam. But phishing isn't the only trick up a social engineer's sleeve. They can also use baiting tactics, like promising free downloads or prizes, or even resort to pretexting, where they create elaborate fake scenarios to gain your trust. The bottom line is that social engineering preys on our natural human tendencies, our trust, our helpfulness, and sometimes our plain old curiosity. So how do we defend against such cunning tactics? Stay tuned to find out. We've talked about external threats, those lurking in the shadows of the internet. But what about the dangers that reside within our own digital walls? That's right, folks. We're diving into the unsettling world of insider threats. These aren't your typical hackers trying to break in from the outside. These are threats that originate from within an organization, often from people we trust. Now, insider threats can be accidental or intentional. Sometimes it's a well-meaning employee who accidentally clicks on a malicious link or falls for a phishing scam, unknowingly granting access to sensitive data. Other times it's a disgruntled employee seeking revenge or someone looking to make a quick buck by stealing and selling company secrets. What makes insider threats particularly dangerous is that they often already have legitimate access to sensitive information and systems. They know the company's security protocols. They understand the data they're after, and they can blend in with authorized users, making them incredibly difficult to detect. Imagine a disgruntled employee with access to customer credit card information, or a contractor with access to confidential project plans. The damage they can inflict can be devastating, both financially and reputationally. So how do you protect against the enemy within? Well, it's a multi-pronged approach that involves strong security policies, employee training, and regular monitoring of network activity. But we'll delve deeper into that later. For now, just remember that not all threats come from the outside. Sometimes the biggest danger lurks within our own ranks. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the world of elite cyber espionage, the realm of advanced persistent threats, or APTs. These are not your average run-of-the-mill hackers. These are highly skilled, well-funded, and incredibly patient adversaries, often backed by nation-states or organized crime. APTs are like the ninjas of the cyber world. They're stealthy, they're persistent, and they're in it for the long haul. Their goal isn't a quick smash and grab. They're playing the long game, infiltrating networks and remaining undetected for months, even years, while they quietly gather valuable data or disrupt critical operations. Think of it like this. Imagine someone sneaking into a museum, not to steal a single painting, but to replace the real masterpieces with incredibly convincing forgeries, one by one, over a long period. But that's the level of sophistication and patience we're talking about with APTs. They often target high-value targets like government agencies, defense contractors, or financial institutions seeking to steal intellectual property, sabotage critical infrastructure, or gain a strategic advantage. Detecting and defending against APTs is like trying to catch a ghost. They're masters of disguise, covering their tracks and blending in with legitimate traffic. But don't worry, we'll discuss some countermeasures later on. For now, just remember that in the world of cyber threats, APTs are the apex predators, silent, deadly, and incredibly difficult to stop. All right, imagine this. You're trying to get into your favorite online game, but the login server is jammed. You try to access your bank account, but the website is down. Frustrating, right? Well, you might be experiencing a distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS for short. Think of a DDoS attack like a digital traffic jam, except instead of cars, it's a flood of internet traffic overwhelming a server, website, or network. The goal is to make it impossible for legitimate users to access the targeted service, essentially forcing it offline. Now imagine a herd of zombies, all controlled by a single hacker, bombarding a website with requests. That's essentially what a DDoS attack is, a coordinated assault from multiple sources, often hijacked computers called botnets, all working together to bring down a target. These attacks can disrupt businesses, prevent access to essential online services, and even be used as a smokescreen for other malicious activities. While they don't directly steal data, they can cause significant financial losses and reputational damage. Defending against DDoS attacks is like trying to hold back a tidal wave. It requires specialized security measures and constant vigilance. But don't worry, we'll explore some preventative measures later on. For now, just remember that in the digital world, sometimes the goal isn't to break in, but to shut everything down. And DDoS attacks are the weapon of choice for digital disruption. All right, everyone, buckle up, because we're about to enter the high-stakes world of ransomware attacks. And trust me, this is one digital threat you definitely don't want to mess with. Imagine this. You turn on your computer one morning, and all your files are encrypted, locked up tight. Then a message pops up on your screen demanding a hefty ransom in exchange for the decryption key. Congratulations, you've just become the latest victim of a ransomware attack. Ransomware is essentially the digital equivalent of kidnapping your data and holding it hostage. It's a lucrative business for cybercriminals who often demand payment in cryptocurrencies, making it difficult to trace. These attacks can cripple businesses, lock down critical infrastructure, and even put lives at risk, especially in sectors like healthcare, where access to patient data is crucial. Now, ransomware can spread through various means, from malicious email attachments to compromised websites. Once it's in, it encrypts your files, rendering them unusable. And unless you have a reliable backup or are willing to pay the ransom, which is never recommended, you could lose access to your precious data forever. So, how do you protect yourself from these digital extortionists? Stay tuned as we delve into the world of cybersecurity best practices. Welcome back to the world of cyber threats, where things aren't always as they seem. Today, we're talking about a particularly sneaky attack known as the man in the middle, or MIT-M for short. Imagine this: you're at a coffee shop connected to the public Wi-Fi, browsing your favorite online store. You enter your credit card details to make a purchase, completely unaware that someone is secretly intercepting every keystroke, every piece of data you transmit. That, my friends, is the essence of a MIT-M attack. Essentially, it's like having an invisible eavesdropper listening in on your conversation. Except in this case, the conversation is between your device and a website or server. The attacker secretly positions themselves between the two parties, intercepting and potentially even altering the information being exchanged. Think of it like this: you're sending a postcard to a friend, but someone intercepts it along the way, reads the message, and maybe even changes the message before delivering it to your friend. Your friend receives the postcard, unaware that someone else has tampered with it. MIT-M attacks can be particularly dangerous when sensitive information is being transmitted, like passwords, financial details, or personal messages. They can occur on various networks, from public Wi-Fi to compromised websites, and often go undetected until it's too late. So, how do you protect yourself from these digital eavesdroppers? We'll explore some security measures in the next chapter. Welcome back, digital defenders. We've covered a lot of ground, but we've got one more crucial threat to discuss: supply chain attacks, and trust me, this one's a doozy. Imagine this: you download a popular software update completely unaware that it's been compromised at the source. Hidden within the seemingly legitimate code is a malicious payload ready to unleash havoc on your system. That, my friends, is the essence of a supply chain attack. Think of it like this: you order a pizza from your favorite delivery place, but someone tampers with it during delivery. You receive the pizza none the wiser and end up getting sick. In this case, the pizza is the software, and the tampering happens somewhere along the supply chain before it reaches you. Supply chain attacks are particularly insidious because they exploit the trust we place in the software and hardware we use every day. By compromising a vendor or supplier, attackers can inject malicious code into products before they even reach the end user, making these attacks incredibly difficult to detect. These attacks can have far-reaching consequences, compromising entire networks, stealing sensitive data on a massive scale, and even disrupting critical infrastructure. So, how do we protect ourselves from these Trojan horses of the digital age? Stay tuned as we wrap up with some essential cybersecurity tips. And there you have it, folks, a crash course in the ever-evolving world of cyber threats. We've covered everything from sneaky malware to sophisticated APT attacks, from social engineering tricks to supply chain compromises. It might seem overwhelming, but remember, knowledge is power. Understanding these threats is the first step in defending against them. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and protect your digital world. Thanks for watching.